Welcome to Colonize the Ocean podcast, where we discuss oceanic colonization, exploration, and education with your hosts Adam Jewell and Brendan Traxler.
Welcome to a deep dive into something pretty extraordinary.
Okay.
Nemo's Garden,
Oh, wow.
an underwater farm.
Okay.
I know it sounds like we're heading into the realm of science fiction here,
Yeah.
but this is real.
Wow.
And we're going to be taking all of our information from Nemo's Garden's website.
Sounds great.
So we're going right to the source for this.
Perfect.
But, you know, when you think about it, it really is this amazing kind of juxtaposition, right? You've got this cutting-edge technology, but it's being used to do something that just seems impossible. Farming beneath the waves.
It really does capture the imagination, doesn't it? I mean, just the idea of growing food underwater.
So you're telling me there are people out there growing food underwater.
Exactly.
Like in the ocean.
In the ocean.
Okay.
Picture this. You're diving down through the crystal clear waters of the Mediterranean. You're surrounded by coral and seaweed.
Okay.
And then suddenly you come across these glowing futuristic orbs.
Ah, those are the biospheres.
Exactly.
That's what they call them, right?
The biospheres.
Yeah.
And these aren't just simple bubbles.
Right.
They're carefully engineered biospheres, like self-contained mini ecosystems, anchored to the seabed.
Okay.
There are 9 of them at depths, ranging from about 15 to 36 feet.
Okay.
Each biosphere is filled with air,
So it's like...
creating a kind of underwater greenhouse.
Oh, so it's like...
where terrestrial plants can thrive.
like a greenhouse, but in the ocean.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's like taking a greenhouse and submerging it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing these like big clear pods
Right.
and the sunlight's filtering down through the water.
Exactly.
And inside you've got all these plants growing.
Yeah, it's quite a sight to behold.
It's incredible.
And these biospheres are remarkably spacious.
Really?
Each one is capable of holding over 2,000 liters of air and over 90 seed beds.
So you could grow a lot of underwater basil and lettuce in there?
You could grow a lot of food in there.
Okay.
A lot of different types of food.
But, I mean, I'm guessing it's not as simple as just tossing some seeds in there.
No, it's not.
Letting nature take its course.
This is the ocean, after all.
Right.
It's a harsh environment.
Yeah.
Growing plants underwater presents a unique set of challenges.
Yeah, what kind of challenges are we talking about?
Well, for one, light penetration decreases rapidly with depth.
Uh-huh.
So the biospheres are strategically placed to maximize sunlight exposure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then there's the issue of pressure.
Oh, yeah.
The deeper you go,
Yeah.
the greater the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So the biospheres are designed to withstand those forces.
Okay.
And of course, we can't forget about salinity.
Right.
Salt water is lethal to most terrestrial plants.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah. So Nemo's Garden has developed sophisticated systems to manage the internal environment of the biospheres,
Okay.
ensuring the plants have the right conditions to flourish.
So they've thought about all of that. They have.
I'm very impressed.
It's amazing.
So I was looking at their website earlier, and they were talking about this 247 monitoring system.
Oh, yeah.
What is that all about?
Well, each biosphere is equipped with an array of sensors that constantly monitor key parameters,
Oh, what a...
like internal and external temperature, water temperature,
Okay.
humidity,
Gotcha.
illumination levels,
Yeah.
even the CO2 and oxygen levels inside.
Wow. They monitor all of that.
Yes. This data is transmitted in real time to their underwater lab.
Underwater lab.
Think of it as mission control for Nemo's Garden,
Right.
where a team of experts can keep a watchful eye on everything that's happening.
That's incredible.
Wasn't that cool?
I mean, it's like having this high-tech control center
It is.
for an underwater farm.
It's amazing.
I was looking at their live data feed,
Oh, yeah.
and inside Biosphere 1, right now, it's 16.9 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
But the surrounding sea temperature is only 7.31.
That's a big difference.
Huge difference. That highlights one of the key advantages of Nemo's Garden.
What's that?
By creating these controlled environments.
Uh-huh.
They can optimize growing conditions regardless of what's happening in the surrounding ocean.
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If there's a cold spell or the water temperature fluctuates.
The plants are protected.
Oh, wow.
They've created these oases of perfect growing conditions beneath the waves.
That is brilliant.
It is brilliant.
But why go to all this trouble?
That's a good question.
To farm underwater in the first place?
Yeah, why do it?
I mean, what's the point?
Well, the answer to that question is incredibly important.
Right.
And it ties into one of the biggest challenges facing our planet today.
What's that?
Water scarcity.
Okay.
Did you know that agriculture currently uses a staggering 70% of the world's fresh water?
70%.
70%
Of all the fresh water on Earth
goes to agriculture.
goes to agriculture.
Just think about that for a second.
That's mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling.
So it's no wonder then that sustainable alternatives like Nemo's garden are so important.
Exactly.
I mean, we need to find new ways to grow food
Yeah.
that don't use up all of our freshwater resources.
You do.
And with growing populations and climate change putting even more pressure on those resources, it's crucial
Absolutely.
that we explore these new ideas.
We need to think outside the box.
So Nemo's garden is basically saying,
Yeah.
hey,
Mm.
we have a solution.
We can help.
We can grow food without depleting our precious freshwater reserves.
And they're doing it
Yep.
by tapping into a resource that's vast
Right.
and largely untapped.
The ocean.
The ocean.
It's all around us.
It really is.
And it's full of potential.
So I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Yeah,
It's about more than just growing basil.
it is.
It's about pushing the boundaries
Absolutely.
of what's possible.
And inspiring us to think differently about our relationship with the natural world.
You don't have to just take our word for it, though.
No, you don't. Because Nemo's garden lets you actually see the magic happening.
How do they do that?
They have a live streaming option
Oh, wow.
on their website
Really?
where you can observe the biospheres in real time.
That's amazing.
So it's like having a window
yeah.
into the future of agriculture.
Right there on your computer screen.
Right there on your computer screen.
I love that.
I'm definitely checking that out after this.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm really curious about the technology behind all of this.
Oh, yeah. The tech is fascinating.
Like, how are they making all of this happen?
Well, Nemo's garden isn't just about innovative concepts. It's about harnessing cutting-edge technology to make those concepts a reality.
That's where Siemens comes in.
Siemens,
Yeah.
the global tech giant.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing with underwater farming?
They're a big part of this project.
Wow.
Siemens is like, the expert in everything, from energy management to industrial automation.
Yeah, they're leaders in the field.
And they've partnered with Nemo's garden to help them optimize and streamline their operations.
That's a great partnership.
So they're working on things like data analysis, process control,
Okay.
and even exploring the use of renewable energy sources to power the project.
So they're making it sustainable.
Yeah. They want to make this whole thing as sustainable as possible.
That's amazing.
It's not just about growing basil and lettuce down there.
No.
They're building a truly sustainable and technologically advanced system.
It's the future of farming.
And they're not stopping there.
What else are they doing?
They're expanding
Oh, wow.
and scaling up their operation.
Where are they expanding to?
Get this.
Okay.
They're installing a Nemo's garden at Gilboa Quarry.
Gilboa Quarry.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's in the USA.
In the USA?
Yeah.
But that's landlocked.
I know, right?
How does that even work?
It's a quarry.
Oh, quarry.
Yeah. So it's filled with water.
I see.
But it just shows you how adaptable
Yeah.
and scalable this technology is.
That's incredible.
It opens up all sorts of possibilities.
What kind of possibilities?
I mean, imagine Nemo's gardens
Yeah.
in deserts,
Wow.
in Arctic regions,
That would be amazing.
even in space.
space.
The possibilities are endless.
It's mind-blowing.
But for now, let's dive back into the heart of Nemo's garden
Okay.
and explore the science behind this incredible project.
Sounds good. It's not just about keeping plants alive underwater.
Yeah.
It's about creating the perfect conditions for them to thrive.
Okay, so it's not just about surviving.
Right.
It's about really flourishing down there.
Exactly.
I mean, after all, they're not doing this just for fun.
No.
They want to produce food.
High-quality food.
Yeah.
And their website goes into a lot of detail about this.
Like what?
Well, for example, they talk about how the constant temperature and humidity inside the biospheres create these ideal conditions for certain types of plants.
Like basil.
Like basil, exactly.
They love their basil.
They do.
So I was thinking about the pests.
Oh, yeah.
Like on land,
Right.
plants have to
Oh.
deal with all kinds of pests.
Bugs and diseases and all sorts of things.
But underwater?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Not so much.
I bet those basil plants are loving it.
I bet they are.
No slugs to worry about.
No slugs, no aphids.
It's like they've created this little protected world down there.
It is a protected world.
For their plants?
It's a perfect environment.
Yeah.
And they're using all sorts of cool techniques.
Like what?
Well, they talk about hydroponics.
Hydroponics?
Yeah, where they use nutrient-rich water solutions.
Instead of soil.
Instead of soil.
Interesting.
And then there's aeroponics.
Aeroponics, what's that?
That's where the plant's roots are suspended in air.
In the air.
And sprayed with this nutrient mist.
Wow, it's like something out of a science fiction movie.
It is very high-tech.
But how do they get enough light down there?
That's a great question.
I mean, it's pretty dark in the ocean.
It can be.
Especially at those depths.
Yeah, they've had to get creative.
So what do?
Well, they strategically positioned the biospheres to maximize natural sunlight exposure.
Okay, so they're getting as much sunlight as they can.
As much as possible.
But I bet that's not enough.
You're right.
So what else?
They've also incorporated artificial lighting systems
Okay.
that mimic the full spectrum of light needed for plant growth.
Wow, so even on cloudy days.
Even on cloudy days.
Those plants are still getting the light they need.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It's pretty amazing.
You know, I'm really curious about the people behind all of this.
Oh, yeah, the team.
Yeah, like who came up with this crazy idea in the first place?
Well, it all started with Sergio Gambarini.
Who's that?
He's the founder of the project.
Okay.
And president of Ocean Reef Group.
Ocean Reef Group.
Yeah, they make diving equipment.
Ah, so we've got diving expertise.
Yeah.
And a love of basil.
That's right.
That's a good combination.
It is a good combination.
So how did it all begin?
Well, the story goes that Sergio was on vacation with his family in Noli. Yeah, a beautiful coastal town in Italy.
Okay.
And he was thinking about the challenges of growing basil on land.
Like the pests and the weather and all that?
Exactly.
And I'm guessing a light bulb went off.
You got it.
What if we could grow basil underwater?
He saw the potential of the ocean as a stable, controlled environment for growing plants.
And Nemo's garden was born.
That's how the legend goes.
That's amazing.
It is a pretty cool story.
But I bet it wasn't easy.
Oh, no. It's a long road.
Full of challenges.
They had to overcome all sorts of obstacles.
Like what?
Well, for starters, they had to engineer biospheres.
Yeah.
That could withstand the pressure of the deep.
Right, because the deeper you go, the more pressure there is.
Exactly.
That's a huge engineering challenge.
It is.
What else?
They also had to figure out how to power the whole thing sustainably.
Oh, right. Because you can't just run extension cords down to the bottom of the ocean.
No, you can't.
So how did they solve that?
Well, they explored all sorts of renewable energy options.
Like solar and wind power.
Exactly.
Wow. They really thought of everything.
They did.
So they've got these incredible biospheres.
Yeah.
They figured out how to power them. But then there's the whole issue of growing plants.
Right.
Underwater.
That was a big one. They had to experiment and learn and adapt.
To figure out what worked best.
It was a lot of trial and error.
But they did it.
They did.
They figured it out.
And the results are incredible.
It's really inspiring.
It is.
It shows what's possible.
And you combine passion with ingenuity.
And a little bit of crazy.
Maybe a lot of crazy.
I love it.
It's a great story.
I'm curious, what do other scientists think about all of this?
Oh, they're fascinated.
Really?
Yeah, Nemo's garden has attracted attention from researchers all over the world.
So they're not just doing this in a vacuum?
No, they're sharing their findings, publishing papers, presenting at conferences, and collaborating with universities.
So they're really pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge.
They're pioneers.
Yeah.
They're leading the way.
Speaking of pushing boundaries.
Yes.
What about this aroma of the sea product line?
Oh, yeah, they're food products.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's a limited edition line right now.
Yeah.
But it's really special.
What kind of stuff are they making?
Oh, well, they've got things like pesto made with their underwater basil.
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
It does.
What else?
They have infused salts using herbs grown in the biospheres.
Wow.
And even a special sea salt.
Oh, wow.
That's naturally evaporated using the humidity inside the biospheres.
So they're really capturing the essence of Nemo's garden.
They are.
In these products.
It's like a taste of the future.
A taste of the future.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is.
But is it scalable?
That's the big question.
Yeah. And can we really imagine a world where underwater farms are feeding the planet?
It's a fascinating idea.
But are there limitations?
There are definitely challenges.
Like what?
Well, the cost is a big factor.
Yeah, building these things can't be cheap.
It's not cheap.
And then there's the maintenance.
Right. You have to keep those biospheres running smoothly.
Yeah, it's not like you can just plant some seeds and forget about it.
No, it's a high-tech operation.
And I imagine there are limits to what types of plants
there are.
can actually grow.
Not everything will thrive in that environment.
So it's not a magic bullet solution
Not a magic bullet.
to world hunger.
No, but it's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
It's a way to diversify our food sources and explore new ways to grow food sustainably.
I like that.
And as technology advances and costs come down, the potential for scaling up becomes more and more realistic.
So there's hope for the future.
There's always hope.
But what about the environmental impact?
Yes, that's important.
I mean, are we messing with the ocean's ecosystem?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah, by putting these artificial structures down there.
They've done a lot of research on that. The results are actually quite positive.
Really?
Yes, the biospheres don't seem to be having a negative impact.
Wow, that's great news.
It is.
So they're growing food.
Yeah.
And they're not harming the environment.
In fact, they might even be helping.
How so?
Well, they've observed that the biospheres are acting as artificial reefs.
Oh, wow.
Attracting all sorts of marine life.
So fish and crabs and stuff.
Exactly. They're creating new habitats.
That's amazing.
It's a win-win.
They're giving back to the ocean.
Yeah.
While also taking advantage of its resources.
It's a beautiful balance.
It really is.
It shows that humans and nature can coexist.
Yeah.
In a harmonious way.
I love that.
It's inspiring.
You know, I've been looking at the pictures on their website.
Oh, yeah. The photos are stunning.
Yeah, they're breathtaking.
It's got a whole gallery section.
I know. It's just amazing.
It's like a glimpse into another world.
Yeah, it's mesmerizing.
You can see the biospheres glowing, like underwater lanterns.
Yeah.
Sunlight streaming through the water.
It's magical.
It is.
I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me too.
For Nemo's garden.
It's an exciting time.
And for underwater farming into whole.
Yeah, who knows what they'll come up with next.
Speaking of the future,
oh yeah,
you mentioned there was one more thing
I did.
that we hadn't talked about.
That really shows their long-term vision.
Okay, I'm all ears. Okay, I'm all ears. What is it?
It's their focus on education and outreach.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tackling these huge global challenges, right?
Right.
So getting young people engaged in these issues is so important.
It's essential.
So how are they doing that?
Well, they've got a bunch of different initiatives going on.
Yeah, okay.
They've got educational programs for schools and universities. They host workshops and tours.
Well,
and they even have a special section on their website.
Oh, really?
Called Nemo's Garden Kids, with games and activities.
That's awesome.
All designed to get kids excited about underwater farming.
It's like they're planting seeds
Yeah.
of knowledge and inspiration.
I love that.
Literally and figuratively.
Exactly.
And it's not just about kids, right?
No, it's about building a community.
Okay.
A global community of innovators and enthusiasts.
And how are they doing that?
Through social media.
Okay.
Online forums. And they even have an Invest in Nemo program.
Oh, wow. So people can actually be a part of the project?
They can contribute to the growth of the movement.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It's like they're creating this space where people can come together and share ideas.
And work together to solve these big problems.
Yeah, because we can't do it alone, right?
We can't.
We need everyone on board.
It's a collective effort.
Absolutely.
And Nemo's Garden gets that.
They're really walking the walk.
They are.
It's inspiring.
It is inspiring.
You know, I've got to say, after learning all about Nemo's Garden, I'm feeling pretty optimistic.
Me too.
It's easy to get bogged down by all the bad news in the world.
It is.
But then you see a project like this.
Yeah.
And it gives you hope.
It reminds you that there are people out there who are working hard to make things better.
To solve problems.
To find solutions.
To create a better future.
And they're not afraid to think outside the box.
Or in this case, outside the farm.
Exactly.
Nemo's Garden shows us that anything is possible.
If we dare to dream big.
And to never give up on our dreams.
That's a great message.
So to our listener.
Yes.
What seemingly impossible idea will you bring to life?
The world is waiting.